Well, hey here, fam. I'm back with my Milady book. And no, I still haven't gotten the newest edition, but that's okay. I don't imagine it'd be that different, but open invitation, anybody who has the newest edition, if I say something in here that is different from what they're saying now, please let me know. And that's just in general. If there's something, right now we're going through history and career opportunities, if there's something that I say that is the little tiny bit that they touch on in this book, if there's something you'd like to elaborate on or correct or whatever, well, let's just get the conversation going. So I've gone over what they said about the African culture and the influence, what how hair was so important in their culture. Then we talked about the Egyptians, which I felt like was more about their makeup, right, with the eyeliner and all that stuff. And let's see, they like the red hair with the henna and the red nails. So the next two things that they go over is the Chinese and the Greeks. So what I found interesting about the Chinese is that it says in the Shang Dynasty, which is 1600 BC, Chinese aristocrats were a tinted mixture of gum, Arabic, gelatin, beeswax, and egg whites into their nails to color them crimson or ebony. So the Zhao Dynasty, also known as the Chao Dynasty, circa 1100 BC, gold and silver were the royal colors. During this early period in Chinese history, nail tinting was so closely related to royalty. This is what I thought was pretty interesting. Oh, by the way, if I mispronounce words, I do it a lot, so I don't mean to. I try, so please forgive me if I do. But back to the interesting part about how color of nails was so closely related to royalty in the Chinese culture back in that time. I can't say what they would do if commoners wore that nail color because then I would get a strike and they would take this video down. But the commoners would no longer be around if they wore the royal colors on their nails. So, yeah. Let me talk about the Greeks. And the golden age of the Greek was circa 500 BC. Hairstyling became highly developed art. So they were taking it to the next level, apparently. Let's see, Greek women applied preparations of white lead onto their faces, kohl around their eyes, there's that kohl again, vermilion upon their cheeks and lips. Vermilion is a brilliant red pigment made of grinding cinnabar, a mineral that was chief source of mercury, and to fine powder. I watched, I follow this makeup person named Erin Parsons. I think that's her name. She did a whole video series on lead in makeup, and I highly recommend you going and watching that because it is very informative and very enlightening. Um, so there you have it. Now we've gone through a very brief, basic, just an introduction of how beauty influenced the Chinese culture, or what they considered beauty, the Greeks, how it influenced them and what they considered important. And again, this is not a history book. This is just some paragraphs, a few sentences to introduce some history, right? And educators out there, they can take it more deep dive. Students, you can take it upon yourself. If there's something that is a little teeny bit of history that they introduced that you're like, wow, that's pretty darn cool. I want to look more into it. At least you're getting an introduction to it. So, and that's a lot of what beauty school is and what they go into. It's getting the fundamentals, getting the basics. I've said it before. You'll talk about the F word. Fundamentals is not an F word. It's a phenomenal word, which I know starts with a PH, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? It's just to introduce you, get you a baseline, get you something that you can go back to. And I can tell you how many influencers and how many hair cutting people and colorists that I've seen online that they take it back to the fundamentals. So I just don't understand why all these people be hating on beauty school fundamentals when that's one of the things they talk about the most is getting back to basics and teaching from the basics. So yeah, you should. It's the foundation to build on more. So I hope you guys are enjoying this content. At least I hope it gives you some insight of the theory portion of beauty school. Um, that they're not just pulling from the ether, just like just random stuff from whatever. Um, so yeah. So if you like this kind of stuff and you want to follow along for more, you all know what to do. There's buttons to push and shares to be given and hearts and stuff. And if there's something informational that you like to contribute, put it in the comments. Let me know if there's anything that is in this book that is incorrect or needs to be clarified. Do that too. I'm not here to just try and nitpick everything apart. This is just to give some information, give some insight, get some conversation going, and yeah, hopefully change the narrative of beauty school.